How I gained and lost the property in one day in City of London. Blessings everyone, blessings. It's Chenna here again. You don't know already what time it is, and you know it's a funny conversation. Well, not even a funny conversation, but it's just a weird feeling for me today to even make this video because I've been working on a deal in Old Street. It's a 1-bedroom, high-spec property, I would say. Well, it's on the borderline of being, it's high-spec, but it's not luxury. Like, it's still just, it felt like a rental unit. So I knew that I had to do certain things in there just to bring up the quality because, in my opinion, in like the market in Old Street is different because it's like two markets. There's like your regular market and there's your luxury market. And unless you could get into that luxury category, like the prices vary like drastically, and that could potentially be why your listing will like do very well, especially if you're paying like a high rent or and it being something that is viable and it not being viable like because you're not able to secure those rents. And in my opinion, I think Old Street is still a young market compared to like Paddington and other areas like such like that. So you got to be careful. So I'm taking on this property. Like I've been saying to everyone, it was very difficult to negotiate this property anyway. Not because we didn't know what we're doing or anything like that. Purely because like this landlord has got a number of properties, and the stance at that point, I'm guessing, is that they wanted to use providers that maybe have like several units that could afford to take the risk and with the property with minimal input from the landlord in terms of like any things that a landlord would normally do, like if there's like repairs to the white goods or such. Like they didn't want to have anything to do with that whatsoever. So I had arranged with the landlord for certain things to be done, but on the day, what I've done as well, yeah, to show you how I try to navigate a tricky situation, I managed to get into the property and for several hours on one day, like around three hours, and I staged the property. I listed the property. I started receiving bookings on the property. Um, but I'd arranged with the landlord that she would do several things like paint the property, and like I said, like with this landlord, they refused to do anything and they wanted to do just the minimal, essentially just collect the rent, um, and providing you with a good quality property, um, theoretically, yeah. So that's basically what they were doing. But like what happened was on the day that, so I'd managed to secure some viewings, some bookings already. Everything's fine. I'm feeling good. On the day that I collected the keys from the landlord, well, I didn't even collect the keys from the landlord. Like the situation is that like it was difficult because she wasn't that transparent in the way how I was able to communicate with the previous tenants, so she didn't want me to really communicate with the previous tenants, and I didn't really understand why until I kind of spoke to him. But before I even get to that, we had arranged for her to do some things to the property, i.e. paint the property. So I'd collected the keys now, and the previous tenant were the ones that were responsible for repainting. I'm guessing that was the agreement that they had. So I've turned up and I've looked at the walls here, and the walls are crazy. I'm telling you, like there's brush strokes here, brush strokes there, and where you've added new paint, it's just everything's just shown up. You see, so the walls look completely horrible. So I've kind of gone back to the landlord, and I've said like, you know what, yeah, I'm here with my builder. These are the things that is going on. Is the property is in even worse condition than before. What we're gonna do about this? She turns around, she's like, you know what, yeah, I don't want anything to do with it. Do you get speak to the previous tenants? The previous tenants said, listen, my contract's finished. Like I pay in the place. Like I'm done. Like that's what they've said, because I'm guessing that they probably have their deposit back or whatnot. I'm not sure. So That so now she turns around and she says to me, you know what, yeah, I don't want an unhappy tenant in it. So like if you're not unhappy, I'll just give you your money back. Just what I'm trying to say, I'll just give you your money back. And that left me in like a predicament because like I'd spoken to the tenants previously the day before when I collected the keys, and they were there and they said that they were cleaning and they were doing all of these things, and he was just explaining to me that he had the property for 3 years, and the way how the arrangement of the agreement is that each year the property rent will increase by a certain percentage. So at that time it increased substantially and the business wasn't really able to profit, and that's what he was letting me know. And judging by the state of the property that it was in and the inventory that I'd received from the landlord, I already knew that this was like this was a situation where like not much was done to the property, like in the sense of like, like for me, like when I'm taking on an essay, yeah, like it might be in good condition or whatnot, but I want to add like these soft furnishings and luxury touches that just, like lets my guests feel like they're they're on holiday, they're in something that's exquisite, they're experiencing an unforgettable moment. Do you know what I mean? In their home, away from their home. So that's what I try to do. So I could already tell that like they didn't really do that. So they, like I said, it was it was iffy if it would get into that luxury category anyway. So, and that was just my personal opinion. So I already know that what he was saying to me was kind of like depending on the fact that he didn't really do what he had to do. But he was just saying that, yeah, he didn't really have a great time the last year, the last 5 months. He's really been making a loss. He's very happy that he like this is behind him. This was his like least performing property. He was only able to really profit no more than 3K per month with all the cleaning and everything that was involved in it. So I don't know, like for me, yeah, how true that is, and nor did I base my decision purely on that. That was for sure a factor, but for me, it was more about the landlady being so rigid and like I don't know, like if someone's coming in your property, I'm sweating because it's mad hot. Oh my god, let me turn on the AC. I don't know, yeah, but if I've got a property, yeah, and someone's coming and they're essentially saying to me that, you know what, yeah, I'm trying to make your property better. Like I would try and work with them. I wouldn't be so rigid and say like, listen, like this is not my problem. This has nothing to do with me. Like if you whatever happens. You handle it. If you ask me how I feel, yeah, it's kind of mad, like to have a property and give it back in the space of 24 hours. To have a property and give it back in 24 hours is mad. So yeah, I felt like I lost something. Like yesterday, I definitely felt like I lost something. I felt like I gained something and then it was snatched away from me and I don't even know if it's because of my own fear of what could go wrong because of the contract that I have. And I kind of know how the landlady is, and this is nowhere close to me even saying, oh yeah, she's a bad person, because I know she's not. She's what I'm trying to say. It's just different different people have different relationships that they want when they do business, in it, and that's just what it comes down to. Like she wanted to be very, very hands off, which I'm okay with, but when it comes to your responsibilities, I expect you to be hands on. Do you know what I mean? And she just wanted to just collect the rent, and you kind of have the say on how you kind of go with the property. As long as you kind of keep it in a good condition, then it is what it is. And that was the kind of, I think that some people love that, and I do as well. But I want to know that if the dishwasher breaks down, yeah, you're gonna fix it. Like if the integrated oven breaks down, you're gonna fix it. If the boiler breaks down, you're gonna fix it. Do you know what I mean? Like these things like that, I can't be in responsible for every single repair. Do you see it? So like, and not that I was, the previous tenants were, so that's what she expected. So when we was doing the negotiation, it was centered around her really being hands off. And I know this is my second property, man. You gotta be careful about how you negotiate, because like that could essentially be like your downfall or your up. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I definitely felt like I lost something, but ultimately I felt like good things will come my way still. Do you know what I mean? I felt like good things will come my way. Like I felt like that I stood up for myself, in the sense that there wasn't she didn't really care whether I took it or not. Do you know what I mean? It was so nonchalant, like it was kind of crazy. So he was like, yeah, what? All right, you're in a pain in yourself. You don't in a pain, and I just throw you back your peas. Do you know what I mean? And that was just it. And even my builder and everyone that I was with, like, to just get this done, turned around quickly, were just like, oh, like, it kind of felt like kind of cold. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no rapport and stuff like that, which, like I said, if I was dealing with a property, like, I would want to know that I'm involved, in the sense that if someone's coming to me and they're saying to me, you know what, yeah, Chen, like, this is the situation with the property. Like, it's not quite at the standard that I normally think. Like, let me do this work for you, yeah, and then we sort something out. I'd be like, you know what, yeah, like something like the painting and stuff like that. It's essentially gonna make the place better. It's gonna be a good condition for when I want it. Like, he's willing to do other things in the property. Let me work with you, but that was just kind of like the nail in the coffin for me, because I just came to the realization that, like, right, like, this I'm not quite at that level to take on all that responsibility by myself, and nor would I want to. Like, I don't think I would want to really be taking on a property unless I'm the landlord. Just what I'm saying, and I'll take care of my responsibilities. But I don't want to take off my responsibilities and your responsibilities with all the rest that we take already, like taking on these properties and aiming for super rent. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it's a very confusing day, back and forth, and I just decided that I'm just gonna leave this one, and I don't even know if I made the right decision. I don't know if I said it out of fear, but I definitely know that, yeah, there wasn't any room for us to negotiate anything that went wrong in the property in the future. And for anyone that's in service in any sort of property, like, you got to know where the goalposts are. Do you know what I mean? You can't just, like, put yourself in a situation where, like, you could potentially be paying for things that you didn't account for, and it's not even your responsibility at the end of the day. So, but it was cool. She was very cool about it. I managed to get my money back straight away, just like she said. And we just kind of went our ways. Like, if you look in the car right now, I'm like filled with, like, just things that I got from IKEA, and I've still got things in at my house now that I've got to sort out. But yeah, like, we moved, you know what I mean? Like, straight away, I felt like a bit embarrassed, because, you know what, I've been saying that I've got this new property that's coming on, and it's been my dream in a way, like, to kind of manage a property in the city of London. So I was really excited about that. I was really excited about that, man. And it's a shame. So yeah, we go back to the drawing boards again. Um, and you know what, as well, yeah, like, this showed me, yeah, like, I'm kind of tired, man. I'm kind of tired of dealing with landlords. Like, I wanna become a landlord now. I wanna make a more permanent move, like, into a property that, like, is gonna be beneficial. I feel like I'm on the cusp of having the knowledge to be able to do that, and plus I'm around the right sort of people to be able to do that. So yeah, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel like I want a new challenge. Do you know what I mean? And that could be in the way of, like, buying property and flipping, or a BRR, and then turning it into, like, a HMO sort of situation. So yeah, like, you never know why things happen, and I'm just here to really keep an open mind. about like different situations and just try and be fluid and agile in what I do, that I'm able to turn a profit at the end of the day. So like I was disappointed. I still am disappointed because I've done the work, I've created the listings, I've got bookings there already, but I just felt that like given the situation, if I was that landlord, I would have just been more like, you know what, yeah, all right, cool, like let me work with you, because overall it's gonna make my property better, and it's gonna create a better um relationship for my new tenant. That's what I'd be thinking. Do you know what I mean? So it was like the fact that it wasn't like that, it was just a bit mad. But like I said, I don't think that it was like a bad situation that we left it. We were just different in where we are in property and like what was expected of each other. And I think this is something that we knew already that was could have potentially be an issue, because I'd already raised the concern about the integrated microwave, and I was just like letting her know that, listen, like I like the type of guests that we have are likely to complain if they go in there, you open the integrated microwave and it's like not working, and it's saying, sorry, please use the freestanding one. Like it, that doesn't scream luxury to me. And that's what I was having a conversation with my builder, and we were just saying that, yeah, he was like, do you want this to be a 1 star? Like he was like a 3 star or a 5 star, and I was like a 5 star, and he was like, yo, like you're gonna have to do this. There's gaps there that needs filling. There's molding in the ceiling, in the bathroom. That's gonna need sanding. That's gonna need covering up. That chair's broken. This, and that. And he's like things that I didn't even really see because I'm not really a builder, and he is. Like, so this is why it's important to have good people around you that's gonna, say to you what's hard, because they know you're excited about taking a property on. So yeah, man, I'm literally on my way now. I'm a bit disappointed, but the rent was expensive, man. The rent was kind of mad, and this could potentially be a blessing in disguise. Like, it really could be, man. It really could be a blessing in disguise. Watch this space, man. The summer, you know.